we meet you where you're at versus saying, hey, you've got to have all this stuff and it's going to take us 6 weeks to, however long it takes. And then, oh, by the way, also we want to add coaching on there. No, like we'll train you in JobTread if you want that, but we also want to help meet you where you're at and get you to where you want to go. Unlike a lot of other implementers, they want to just do all the fancy bells and whistles that aren't actually going to help you with your business now. They may later, but it's not helping you where you're at now.
Welcome to the Onsite Podcast. We chat with contractors, educators, industry professionals about the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. So without further ado, let's fucking get into it. Welcome back to the Onsite Podcast. Super excited to dig into episode 44. Today we have Philip Sessions with Refined VA. Philip and I met actually just organically, I think, through a JobTread post. And so Philip is a implementer with JobTread tools and systems, helps build out the catalogs, help build out the estimates through the utilization of virtual assistants. And so I'm excited to dig into this today with you, Philip. How's everything going today?
Everything it feels like a dumpster fire today, specifically just because of my sister-in-law having to go into labor on today when we're getting here on the podcast. I've got the kids as well as trying to still do business, but hey, that's entrepreneurship, right?
Man, you're a straight hustler. I love it. I love it. And you know what? It's great conversation. Always talking to you. You're so positive, so inspirational, and just always driven. Every time we talk, you can just tell that, you carry this level of drive and determination. Like most people, they would have called in sick. Hey, Brandon, can't record the podcast today. I've got a bunch of shit going on in my life, but you stood true, and here we are today. So I'm excited to dig into this with you. So Philip, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
So I'm originally from Houston, Texas, moved to Greenville, South Carolina about 10 years ago, or actually just over 10 years ago. And so now I'm stuck out here, married, jokingly saying I'm stuck out here, but been married for about 6 years now. I've got a 4 and a 2-year-old, 2 little girls that got me wrapped around their fingers. Outside of that, we help with JobTread implementation, ongoing support, as well as virtual assistant placements. And so outside of the business side of things, outside of family, a man of God, I try and show my faith in everything that I do and give 110% at all times. Doesn't happen all the time, but I try and be a man of my word in every single thing that I do. And keep up with commitments that I make, which today was a tough one. There was multiple times this morning I wanted to say, dude, it's just not going to work out. But I was like, no, I've got to keep the word, got to keep to it. So here we are.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And I love everything that you shared there. I'm a father. I've got a son, a daughter. My son is graduating this year. I'm going to be entering into the trades as well. And then my daughter, she's in grade 9. And I'm not going to lie, her and I had a bit of an argument this morning. Just teenage things, you know what I mean? And you catch yourself. And I'm the belief that you when shit happens, you deal with it immediately, or at least when you're in the right, headspace to deal with it. And so prior to this call, I sent her a message just saying, hey, sorry, we got into that this morning. And so I love that you mentioned about, your 2 little girls. Growing up with a son and a daughter, they're different in their own way, but the connection that a father has with a daughter is crazy, dude. So as you progress through this, I promise you, it'll change you. Like your values, your fire just amplifies. Like a father of a son, you're trying to, encourage, direct, guide, share wisdom. Whereas with your daughter, you're just trying to protect. You're trying to protect and empower and support. And so, I was a little frustrated with myself this morning that we allowed that type of argument to happen, but is what it is, man. Life is life. And I think it's really important that we recognize it. So I want to say thank you for sharing everything you shared about your family. And I'm excited for you. It's a great journey being a father, man, especially to a little girl or little girls.
Yeah, man. And I appreciate it. It's definitely tough. Like right now, business has been booming in an amazing way. But at the same time, it's like, here I am on the phone all the time. The wife has been complaining about that. Like, what are you on the phone all the time for? What are you doing? And I'm just like, there's all these things coming in. I'm juggling them. I've got the whole team trying to get them set up, and we've got new clients coming in, and it's like, okay, now I got to figure out who's going to do that. while also trying to be the family man. And man, it is tough to juggle. And really, it's Sam Kaufman said this one time. It's like, it's about harmony. It's not about balance. Like we think about trying to balance things back and forth, and it's more about harmony. And there's going to be times where you can't spend a ton of time with the family, and there's other times where you can't spend a ton of time with business. It just depends on what's going on there. But overall, getting everybody on that same page of here's where we're trying to go, and really casting that vision for the family is such an important thing, and we'll continue to try and do. But of course, in the moment, it's really difficult to deal with that. And obviously the wife's going to be complaining there, and just try and work through it and try and be conscious of that, the fact that, I'm constantly on that phone, and trying to set that time aside to, okay, from, these couple of hours, I'll try and not be on the phone. I'll get back to it later. I'll get up early to be on the calls. So, I know we've had messages back and forth where it's like, I'm back up at like 3:30 in the morning, but I also went to bed at like 10 o'clock at night. So it's like not a ton of sleep, but that's the way I'm trying to juggle it all, manage it all, is by extending my working hours outside of the hours that the family's there and wanting to be active.
Dude, I like you. You're fun. I like you. I love your energy. That's great.
I think not enough, especially guys, as guys don't talk about that enough. It is a struggle, and it's not to say that your wife's being a bitch, complaining, anything like that. Like, they're emotional creatures. They want you to be there, and they don't feel loved and desired when you're just looking at your phone, when you're constantly on that phone. And then especially with little girls, it's just that much more. But as guys, don't talk about that. Like, we just kind of hold it all in. And I think society kind of leads to that too. But we just hold it all in and don't talk with each other to try and help each other out. And then also encourage that, hey, it's not about hustle culture. Unfortunately, that's what everybody's portrayed, that online you just got to be 24/7 grinding. And there's definitely those times to grind, but you can't grind away that time with the family, because then eventually you're not going to have family. It doesn't matter how many you have. But I'm sure you've seen that a lot, especially with your coaching.
Oh man,
guys that like, man, they are balling out of control. Like, the business is booming, all this stuff, and then family life's terrible, or they're on their second or third divorce because they focus so much on the business and making money for the family, and then they lost it all the family.
Dude, I like you. I like you. I'm excited about this convo. If you ever need to talk to anyone, for sure, I'll probably be up at 3 a.m. when you're up. So, feel free to hit me up. I don't really sleep that much, like, 4 to 5 hours a day. My brain is just firing constantly. So,
every conversation we've had, man, it's boom. Let's talk through these things. I love it. It's like very strategic, very dialed in, talking through those. And then like, we're moving on like 6 subjects in a 15-minute call, and like, all right, let's go.
That's cool. I like it. There's not a lot of people like what I've learned about like working in the online space. I've been doing this for 2 years now. Dude, when you can find a tribe online, you can do things like 10 times faster. Your inner circle, it changes. It changes very quickly, and you got to be open to finding the right people at the right time and really opening that door. And so I'm excited I came across you. So I message Eric from JobTread. Him and I talk quite a bit on Facebook. That guy responds all the time.
Yeah. I'm shocked at how much the company has grown, and I don't know the exact number of employees he has, but it's pretty sizable. And I'm still surprised that he is all over the place responding to everything personally.
It's crazy. Like, I was talking to him, I didn't get to connect this year. I was depressed that week, oddly enough, because I was like, I'm supposed to be there right now. Or maybe I'm not. Obviously I wasn't there. So maybe I wasn't. I think we make a big impact with the people that we work with. And I think that if we were there, I might have an influx of workflow that I probably maybe couldn't manage.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying, I think we're really good, but the results speaks for itself. Right. And so if I was there, I feel like we would have got inundated. But I was literally talking to Eric right before he went on stage.
Wow.
Like, literally, like, he's like, oh yeah, blah, 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 just back and forth. I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm just about to go on stage. I was like, dude, put your phone away.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little upset, man, because we were scheduled to do the podcast the week before Connect. And he's like, oh yeah. Well, actually, his assistant told me that he needed to focus on getting ready for Connect. So he's like messaging you at Connect. I'm a little jealous. No, I'm just kidding. But no, he told me, he's like, hey, can we reschedule? Or I guess she did. And I was like, I didn't even think about that. I should have never booked for like the Thursday before the week of Connect.
Oh man, it's great. Yeah, he mentioned he did a podcast with you not that long ago, so that'll drop here soon enough. Hey, we've got an ad here. Make sure to pay attention. What's up, guys? Are you a contractor or business owner looking to take things to the next level? Well, I've got something for you. The Elite Builder Society is a community that helps contractors grow and scale. For $49 a month, you can have access to 20 group coaching calls. Look, you're probably wondering, how am I going to show up to 20 calls, Brandon? That's a lot. And yeah, it is a lot for $49 a month. But every call is recorded so you can watch it at your leisure. But you get the best experience when you're live on the call with us. Okay, at the end of every webinar, there will be a Q&A where you can ask the industry expert questions that you can implement into your business. Look, if you're ready to take things to the next level for $49 a month, go to ebsworks.com and register today. I look forward to seeing you inside the community. Well, dude, anyway, excited to have you on here. Family man of faith, father to 2 daughters, little girls right now. They're going to get to become daughters like mine, and you maybe will have mornings like mine, which is fine, but it's all part of the process. But tell us a little bit about, what is Refined VA? What do you guys do?
So Refined VA started out as just a virtual assistant agency, and we got introduced into JobTread by another coaching group. Actually, they suggested like, "Hey, dude, you really should be niching down and everything." And they were active within JobTread, and I said, "All right, cool. Let's go ahead and do that." And yeah, I see you're showing the website right now. We are still in the process of revamping that whole thing. We've kind of thrown some stuff together to show that we're not just a virtual assistant agency. So now we actually do implementation or build outs of JobTread. So helping you set up your JobTread account, getting you all the templates, everything, you name it. Anything inside JobTread is what we focus on. The only thing outside of it is we'll do the mapping between QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop into JobTread. Other than that, we partner with other people that can help you like connect GHL or any kind of AI stuff. We're just inside JobTread. And then we also offer internal ongoing support within JobTread as well. So that way you don't have to hire somebody and then train them up and have them understand JobTread. We already understand all that. So we can help you with just doing estimates or modifying workflows, keeping things clean, kind of like your right-hand person to a project manager or an office admin. A mix of the two is our ongoing support. And then the last thing is still the virtual assistant stuff, but we can get you an estimator that has construction experience, that understands JobTread a little bit, or we can get you somebody that really knows JobTread and can just do all the building out for you, the ins and outs of that. But then you're managing their day-to-day versus the ongoing support. You have one direct contact with our team, but we have the whole team behind that person to really make sure that things are done well. And of course, if somebody's sick or whatever, we have somebody else step in to keep your day-to-day going.
That is phenomenal, dude. That's hugely needed. So, your wife, she's going to have to hold you back because that's going to keep you busy.
Yeah. It's been insane here lately. Over the last 30 days, we've had about 150 leads come in, all organic, just from the Facebook group. And so our posting outside of that as well. But, 150 leads in the last 30 days. And we're still working through closing on a lot of those, but it's coming together very nicely. We've onboarded another 3 JobTread specialists to the team and everything just to keep up with the demand.
That's crazy, brother. I love that. Congratulations. It's an earned growth point because I think that's, in business, in any business, if you can solve a problem that exists in the industry, similar to like, that's why I got into coaching. I got into coaching because contractors, struggled at just figuring out point A to B. The systems that have to happen outside of just doing the work are unknown. And as technology continues to advance and products like JobTread continue to advance, you find yourself really struggling. You're either going to pick one or the other, right? You're going to do the work or you're going to do the admin stuff. And admin is not going to build your business. It's important. It's a non-negotiable, but really finding, and aligning with a product like yours, I think is a game changer. We have quite a few of our members inside of EBS are with JobTread. You're going to be doing a featured call as a hub host coming up here in a couple of weeks, I believe, as well. So you'll be able to kind of share some details and a little presentation about who you are and what you do there as well. But dude, this is a huge product. This is a huge solution to a big problem. So if you're in new construction, remodeling, any service-based contractor that's using JobTread or is considering just construction management software, first off, that is hands down the best product on the market. And here's why. It's the best product on the market because the CEO is responding to people, at almost any time of the day, any day of the week. You don't get that from a lot of business owners because their ego is so big that they don't want to, give up their personal time. You're building a business. Sometimes it takes some sacrifices, like what Philip was talking about. You got to sacrifice a couple things. You got to be methodically sacrificing. Your partners need to support you in your growth. But Eric is dedicated to the success of his clients. And that is very, very visible in his service. And that's why I think he's delivering such an incredible product. Now, pair that with somebody like Philip and what he's doing, it's a game changer. So, I would do them both together. I would do one or the other. Start with Philip, have a conversation with him about what that implementation would look like. Maybe he could even then further explain what JobTread is and the benefits on how it would implement into your business. When you have somebody that knows the product inside and out, you'll get a better 1,000-foot overview. JobTread has their own sales team that can manage all of that stuff as well. So you're more than welcome. And we will include our affiliate link as well for you to gain access to JobTread directly in this episode in the show notes. So if you're interested in organizing your business, start with JobTread, implement Philip and his team, Refined VA. It'll be a very efficient decision. So Philip, I was just on a call with Kevin. He is one of the contractors in our community. I've been working with him for just over a year now. And so he is using or about to use your services, which is very exciting. Him and I were just chatting briefly about, what that process looks like. And so the biggest problem that most contractors face, if I'm being completely honest, is estimating. They struggle at capturing the information on site. They usually take a little notepad, write a couple things down, and then go to their truck. And then they get a phone call from their wife or from another job site. And they forget half the shit that was just digested while they're on site. And then they go to the next site and then they tell the client, I'll get the estimate to you in a couple of weeks. And then they go to the next site and they've now forgotten about that because there's all these other pressures that are existing. And then they continue on throughout their day. And then they come back, maybe in 2 or 3 days. And then at that point, that is when they, start building out their estimate. And they've forgotten all of this information. They've forgotten all of this incredibly important information. And so, your product allows them to capture a better system on capturing information and getting it documented and putting it in front of the client. And so the reason I wanted to bring up with Kevin, because that was one of his big problems. He's growing rapidly. He's a part of the construction association in his local region. And so, tell us a little bit about that process. How do you help contractors, with the estimating process and making that more efficient?
Yeah. So I want to go back and start, we had the conversation and he was talking about wanting to build out and everything. But then as I got talking with him, he literally was struggling with just getting the estimates out the door. I said, well, hold on, Kevin, let us come in and help you just get those estimates together. And so we were able to pull together, and he likes to do a high level view. So we meet you where you're at. If you want all the details, we'll help you fill in line item by line item. And then you have a baseline of what you need. And then you can plug in the numbers for that, because obviously your numbers until you have a cost catalog together. So that's where we started with him, was just pulling all that together into an estimate. It wasn't the final template or anything, but we now creating the template for those estimates. And what we're going to do is actually break that down. So he does a lot of bathrooms, a lot of kitchens, a lot of master suites. And so we're actually going to break down and have templates of a standard bathroom. I say standard. I know it's custom remodeling, but what can we do to kind of create this kind of standard, one part of the bathroom, and then a kitchen, what are the basic things that go in that kitchen? So that way we can hopefully only have to delete line items or maybe add a couple on future estimates. But that's how we kind of eat that elephant one at a time, is really by creating templates based on common things that you're going to have in each of those projects. So we just met him where he was at first to get him out of that hole of, hey, I need this estimate out in the next 2 days. I don't have time because I'm going on all these calls and getting more in. Can you help me out with that? And then we're coming on the back end as well to create the new templates for him so it can be more plug and play. And then next will be creating the cost catalog. So then he actually has pricing in there and everything to go with that. And then we can then start helping out with vendor communication and just keep building through that system. So we meet you where you're at versus saying, hey, you've got to have all this stuff and it's going to take us 6 weeks to, whatever, however long it takes. And then, oh, by the way, also we want to add coaching on there. No, like we'll train you in JobTread if you want that, but we also want to help meet you where you're at and get you to where you want to go. Unlike a lot of other implementers, they want to just do all the fancy bells and whistles that aren't actually going to help you with your business now. They may later, but it's not helping you where you're at now.
Right. I love that. I mean, that's really important too, because everybody is at a different place. Like I've learned this, within coaching, is that you've got somebody that's doing $5 to $10 million in revenue, and the conversations that he's having with his clients are different than the guy who's, just trying to get to 500K, and they're similar, but different. And if you approach them both with the same framework, you're going to break something along the way. And so it's really important that you're, malleable to kind of leech onto the client in the way that they need you to, so that you can really help them grow. And that's really what, for us too, what has really set us apart is that, by setting up the one-on-one services and the group calls and all these different things, it really gives the client a unique one-on-one experience. Kevin and I, when we first started working together, completely honest, he just moved to his new state from another state, did remodels and stuff for years, and then started, marketing in his new city. And it was like, nobody knows who I am, man. And so we helped him, rebuild his entire website. We helped him rebuild his social identity. We helped him rebuild his understanding and approach on how to get clients. Like, I remember there were moments, like it was like right before Christmas, and we needed to lock in a job. It was either that or no presents. And so him and I worked very, very closely together initially to make sure that we could secure those great opportunities. And now here he is, onboarding an implementer. He's secured $500,000, I believe, ADU not that long ago, and he's just wrapping it up. I think I'm not wrapping it up. He's into drywall stage right now, or rough ins, but like he's come a long way, and that's in a year and a half. And one of the things that's really unique about Kevin is that he moves pretty quickly. He does everything with intention, but he also doesn't get fixated on trying to make one thing perfect. Most people slow down in their business development by trying to fixate on making each element perfect. He just gets one thing kind of running okay. Like the website, his first website, or his very first website, I didn't even get to see it. I saw his second website, and then his second website wasn't the greatest. And then he worked with Blue Collar to get his third website built out. Now it's phenomenal. He's tracking high on SEO. Then from there, onboarded, his social content wasn't the greatest either. He was doing a lot of it himself. He was inconsistent with it. Onboarded a tool and a resource to help, create consistent social. And so he's just climbing the ladder. It's part of the process, and I know that working with you, just with your energy, your confidence, your trust and support that you have for your clients, will help Kevin continue to grow. And him and I talked about, getting on a bit of a group call and just really, because like, for me, sales solve problems. I believe that when you have sales, you can solve literally anything. And so, working with Refined VA, when there's an opportunity for him and for the three of us, I guess, or your team and my team, to kind of get together and build a super defined sales framework that just has, a conversion rate that is unlike anything that's out there. Because I think people forget how much money, time, and energy we spend in just getting that one job. Philip, if you're familiar with hockey where you are, but my family plays hockey. Like, that's what we do. And, I always tell my kids, I was like, you fight so hard to get the puck on your stick that one time. What are you going to do with it? What is the point of not practicing shooting, not practicing target, not practicing, your edges so you can control deception, all that kind of stuff? What is the point of not doing that? Because that one time that you get that puck on your stick, if you don't do all those things, your conversion ratio goes down, right? And so same thing within sales, in the remodeling space or construction space. If you don't have a conversion tool, a framework, like a sales strategy, then you fought so hard for nothing. And quite often, every job that you do, if done very, very well, will generate 3 to 5 more all the time. And so I'm excited to really dig into that with him once he has you implemented, because I think we'll be able to create a one-of-a-kind product that really just differentiates him from everybody else in his community. There's not a lot of people that are willing to do all these things because, I think they're just comfortable with where they're at. And dude, those people are going to get eaten up. Those people are going to get chewed up very, very quickly over the next, couple of years as AI and technology and products like yours and JobTread become, just a driving force to business growth. Those companies are going to get chewed up, and so if you're listening to this and you don't have these tools implemented in your business, you should really, consider connecting with Philip and JobTread, because it will transform your business. I guarantee that. So Philip, tell us a little bit about what's your why. Why do you do this shit? What makes you so passionately driven to helping, business owners grow their business?
Man, the why for me really just comes down to wanting to see other people be able to succeed. And why I pick like home builders and home remodelers is I love that transformation and seeing that these guys are so good with their hands, but then they don't have, I don't want to say necessarily they don't have the aptitude to learn it, but they're just so busy and it is so difficult to take a step back and think about everything systematically. You're so busy on that day to day. And then I see them being that family man as well, and the backbone really of America. So kind of all these things that come together, I wanted to be able to support that because I'm not good with my hands, but having a degree in electrical engineering, having a system type mindset, I realized I can look at processes and figure out a good process that's going to work and find a way to make it robust where it's not just going to work if you only do it from A to Z. You might jump around, but you can still make that work, that process overall work. And so that why for me is really comes down to helping those business owners be able to live a life of some freedom. Because we all get into business so we can make more money, to be able to do more things with our family, to spend that time with our family and not be stuck in a job. But what often happens is we get stuck in the job because we don't have those systems in place.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned about the backbone of America as well. To me, with all this AI and everything, yes, a lot of it's going to take over different aspects of technology and stuff like that. But I still believe everybody wants that human interaction. And the blue collar industry, our trades industry, is what's going to keep America. And I really want to support that. And so that's really the why. Those two things combined are the why for me, really supporting the backbone of America, but also supporting these business owners so they can actually get to that point in the business that they originally started with, which was to be able to have that time freedom to spend it with their family.
I love that, dude. Well, I appreciate, the things that you're doing. You're in America. I'm obviously in Canada here. And so whenever I relate to anything, I always thought about it as separate places, but I've kind of classed them together as, I service all of North America. And, I'm trying to just I believe that there are groups of people that in North America want to be the greatest version of themselves. And, and so giving them a place to speak, a place to do, a place to serve, I think is borderless, in my opinion. Unfortunately, there's this border for now. Potentially that border will go away. I'm all for it. I'm sure I'll get some hate on that. But at the end of the day, a lot of my best clients are Americans. I have nothing bad to say about anyone. I try to keep my shit pretty, low key, but we're fighting a battle against each other in a roundabout way. And I think there's a way that we can serve each other the way we need to. Obviously, two separate countries, right?
Yeah.
Canada operates, like a clown show, and America operates like a fine oiled machine.
That depends. It can, but it also is crazy in a clown show too.
Yeah, I get it. But you got 400, how many people are there? 400 million people? How many people are there?
Something like that. It's
400
insane.
million people to serve.
Yeah.
We got 40 million.
Yeah.
400 people. I was doing some stats when I got into the coaching space, being in business and in construction and all different types of industries, you really want to, I'm data driven. And when ChatGPT came around, actually kind of around the same time that I started coaching. And so, I went into it one day and I was trying to do some surveying on what does the topography look like across North America? Like how many clients could I actually serve? There's over 600,000 businesses that fit within my ideal client avatar across North America. Wild. And the other craziest stat that I gathered over the past couple of years, I polled one city. So it was like maybe, I don't know, 500,000 people. Let's say it's 500,000 people. I pulled my ideal client out of that city. I pulled 500 people. So I did a scrape using these AI tools, pulled 500 people. How many of those businesses do you think failed?
Yeah, probably 90% of them or more.
Well, it wasn't that high. It wasn't 90%, but 50% of those businesses were done. Phones were disconnected and not operational.
Wow.
That's insane. And the craziest part that's connected to that is mostly ego. Like most of these guys have so much ego that they feel like they can do it. And then they go on their own, right? You go on your own. If you're listening to this and you've got an ego, drop your ego. It's the most healthiest thing you can do. Asking for help, calling another man and talking to them about your shit that you're going through. It's the healthiest thing that you can do. But most of those business owners, they failed because I believe of ego, afraid to ask for help, afraid to ask for tools, like Philip has, and all these different products that exist that are available. And now the technology is so readily available to everyone. We have no excuses. We literally have no excuses anymore. What's up, guys? I hope you're enjoying this episode of the Onsite Podcast. So here's the deal. We want to grow this show and we need your help. It's simple. Pay the tax, share the show. That's it. Let's get back into it. Philip's probably dealing with some parental tasks.
Yeah. I'm trying to be secretive about it. Oh,
no,
man.
You're good, man. You're good. No, but great conversation, man. We could probably
I totally agree. I was listening in. Now I got a little bit of crying in the background.
No,
but I completely agree with you. And unfortunately, what I see, at least in my immediate area, is that you've got all these guys that, and I say guys, but all these business owners that don't want to talk and collaborate with each other. And just like you said with that stat, I mean, think about a home remodeler. How many houses are there in your local area? Do you really think that your business can service every single one of those? You could have 500, 1,000 people on your team, and you're still not going to be able to service all of those. But yet, too often, business owners will look at it as a scarcity mindset. No, I can't talk with you. I can't help you out. And I think that's where groups like your group, your coaching service can really help out, because you're now online. There's less of that scarcity mindset and you're able to learn and grow. But unfortunately, too many people think so small-minded. And It was the same thing with me getting into JobTread, exclusively going on JobTread. Everybody's like, why would you just go to JobTread? And I was like, there's right now at the time, there was 9,000, there's almost 10,000 users. And I mean, heck, if I only get, 10% of that, like that's going to be huge. And I can help that many people. Yeah. And that'll, and if I need to expand after that, I can. But I look at it as more of being like the fish in a puddle versus like a fish in the ocean. You're going to be so massive, people are going to recognize you. And I've seen that change. And so this really goes into like in your business, like niching down. The more you can niche down and be very specific about what you do, the better it's going to be. And it is scary at first. Like, hey, I do a whole house renovations. And then you say like, no, we just do bathrooms or we just do kitchens. People are going to recognize you more, and you're going to get more business because, Kevin's the guy that only does kitchens, and now they want to talk to you versus other guys that say, we do full house renovations. So to me, niching down is such an important thing as well.
I think it totally depends on the population. Not all populations can sustain a very specific, like you said, if JobTread only had 100 users, you'd be broke. You'd be completely broke. You wouldn't have enough clientele. So I think it really depends on how many users exist that really ultimately dictate, how much you niche down. But I totally agree. We got a special guest.
Yeah.
Oh,
special guest.
Oh, let's see. What's your name? Come on. No, not into it.
Look. You're on camera.
Hello. How are you? Oh,
no.
You having a tough day?
Yeah, it's nap time / lunchtime.
Oh, it's a tough day. Well, I have a little girl too. She has
the other one wants to say hey.
Look at this. Oh, hello. We got two. Hey, look at that. What do you got in your hair?
I got a bow.
Oh, cute. I love that. That's a cute bow.
We got the outgoing one, and then we got the quiet.
It's just like contractors. We got all different types of personalities. Right? There we go. We got everyone. Okay. This is cool, man. This is super cool. I love it.
That's what we got here.
I love it.
So, but that's business too, man. Like things come up, and I appreciate you I hate to do this because I get it's a podcast and stuff, but I appreciate being open to that too. I mean, kind of life lesson there. Like you got to be yourself. You got to realize that things are going on. And I've seen people get completely turned off because of, so unprofessional that your kids are there. Like, yeah, I don't want my kids screaming in the background. I'm working to make sure that's not happening. Obviously life happens. You're cute. Everybody knows it.
This one loves the camera.
Yeah, man. But that's the thing too. Like, I mean, right there in of that, that's like I don't want to call it a marketing tool. Like have your kids on your social media all the time, but like people want to see that brings out personality. That makes you different than other people in the market. So use your own personality, whatever it may be, family man, girl, dad, whatever, to use that to differentiate yourself to really help your business grow as well.
Yeah, I think it also is important that you're just real. You got to be real.
Yeah.
Like people want to deal with real people. Like you talked about, earlier where we're like taking away the automations and they want to deal with this human aspect. Mm-hmm. I like to deal with relatable people. The minute you told me you were a girl dad, I was more interested in your services, if I'm being completely honest, because I relate to, the things that I have to do with my daughter as well. It's a special type of person. And so, seeing that you're with your kids right now and just showing that you're loving them and all that kind of stuff, dude, that makes me want to use your services even more, There
we go. I'll send you a link to pay.
Well, I don't do that shit anymore.
I'm just kidding.
But I can definitely link you up with lots of people. I'm excited for your presentation in the community. Look, if you guys aren't in the community, literally $49 a month will get you access to people just like Philip. And this is life-changing. Drop your ego, remove yourself from the stat of failure so that you can spend time with your daughters like this. That's cute. Love it. Look at those glasses. What's your name?
Nora Sessions.
Nora. There we go. Oh, she even used
she said her first and last name.
You got them trained to use their last name.
Yep.
Nora Sessions.
And then Margaret over here, shy as can be.
I love it. That's cute. You guys are cute. Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself, Nora.
What's your favorite dessert?
Cake.
Chocolate, vanilla?
I love chocolate and vanilla.
But vanilla.
Have you ever had them mixed together? It's called marble. Have you ever had them mixed together?
Had it mixed together. I got a bracelet.
Got a bracelet, got some cool glasses. Oh, my daughter makes bracelets. Did you make that?
Oh, no, we just bought it. It made Daddy buy it.
There you go. Cool. Well, I love it, man. Well,
that's how it goes, man. That's why we got to keep doing business, because you got all these toys you got to buy.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, hey, I'm gonna let you get to Daddy daycare. Yeah. And we're going to get back to transforming contractors live. Great session today. Thank you so much. If you want to connect with Philip, okay, you can connect with him. Is Instagram best place here?
That's a great place. Facebook's another one. So I am Philip Sessions, Philip with 1 L. I'm on Facebook as well. If you're in JobTread, you'll probably see me over there in the JobTread Pros group also. But yeah, feel free to reach out. I'm always active, always open to have a conversation and just
3 in the morning
give some advice. Was that?
He even says at 3 in the morning he's active and willing to have a conversation.
I am. Sometimes I have to hold back. I'm like, they're a couple hours behind. Let me not do that. But then I realize that everybody's got, they can turn the notifications off if they want to. But yeah, I'm responding back all the time. So very active. Excited to present in a couple weeks in the group. We'll be talking about virtual assistants. I'm sure with more coming up, I'll probably bring in my team as well. And we could probably dive in, do some audits, different things, have a lot of fun with it, and really be educational.
Dude, I'm stoked. I love it. This is exciting. We got a lot of people inside the community that are using JobTread. They can use your services. I can't wait. If you want to change your life and your business, surround yourself with people like this. I promise you it'll make a big impact. Appreciate the conversation today, brother. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks, brother. All right, that concludes this episode of the Onsite Podcast. Remember, if you enjoyed this episode, please pay the tax, share the show. Guys, if you want to be a part of the Elite Builder Society, all you got to do is pay $49 a month. That's it. $49 a month. You get 20 group coaching calls every month. Okay? Go to ebsworks.com and register today. If you enjoyed the show, please pay the tax and share the show.